In the soft blue light of his cluttered home office, John leaned forward in his chair, tweaking the parameters of his custom-built communications rig. Outside, the bustling sounds of the city were a dull murmur against the whir of his equipment. He was on the hunt, not for anything terrestrial, but for signals that might be hiding in the noise from the cosmos. "Any luck yet, or still fishing for cosmic whispers?" his roommate Alex called out from the kitchen, his voice tinged with a mix of skepticism and amusement. "Just a sec," John replied, his focus fixed on the array of screens before him. He adjusted the frequency on his receiver, a setup more sophisticated than what his budget should allow, all thanks to his knack for scavenging and improvising parts. Suddenly, a series of unexpected beeps broke the static hum. John's heart skipped a beat. "Alex, come here, you need to see this." Alex, wiping his hands on a dish towel, walked over and peered over John's shoulder. On the screen, amidst the lines of code and frequency graphs, was a clear, repetitive signal pattern. "That doesn't look like background noise," Alex said, his earlier skepticism fading into intrigue. "It's not. It's structured, deliberate. It's a message?" John's hands flew over the keyboard, isolating and amplifying the signal. The screen flickered and then displayed a text transmission. "Connection request. Origin, Galaxy NGC 4414. Galaxy NGC 4414? That's not just across the street, that's millions of light years away," Alex remarked, his voice a mix of wonder and disbelief. "Should I accept it?" John looked at Alex, excitement bubbling in his chest. "Are you kidding?" "Yes," Alex exclaimed. With a deep breath, John clicked accept. The screen refreshed, and a new message appeared. "Stranger. Hello, is anyone there?" John typed back, his fingers trembling slightly with the enormity of the moment. John. "Yes, hello, I'm John, and I'm on Earth. Who are you?" Stranger. "I'm Mira from the planet Sidara in NGC 4414. I can't believe this worked." Their conversation began tentatively but grew quickly as curiosity overcame the initial shock. Mira explained that her technology was experimental, designed to reach across galaxies. Mira. "I never really expected to reach anyone. Our scientists said the odds were astronomically low." John. "Well, I'm glad you did. What's it like on Sidara?" Mira. "It's vibrant, full of life and advanced technology, but we always thought we were alone in the universe." John shared details about Earth, humanity, and their own explorations into space, which had yet to take them beyond their own solar system. Mira. "Your world sounds beautiful. It's amazing to connect like this, despite the distance." John. "It is. Maybe we can learn from each other. There's so much potential." Alex chimed in, leaning towards the microphone. "Hi, Mira. I'm Alex. I live with John. This is absolutely incredible." Mira. "Hello, Alex. It's great to meet you both. This connection might be the start of something wonderful." As the conversation drew to a close, they agreed to talk again soon, setting the stage for an unprecedented exchange between two distant worlds. After ending the transmission, John and Alex sat back, overwhelmed. "Do you realize what this means?" Alex asked, a broad smile spreading across his face. "We've just made first contact," John said, the weight of the statement sinking in. "This could change everything." They looked at each other, a mix of exhilaration and apprehension in their eyes. Tomorrow they would be back, waiting for Mira's signal, ready to bridge the vast cosmic divide once more. The possibilities were endless, and for the first time, the stars didn't seem quite so far away. The next night, the mood in John's apartment was charged with an electric sense of anticipation. Alex brought in 2 cups of coffee as they settled in front of the sprawling array of monitors and equipment that John had fine-tuned throughout the day. "Think she'll get through again?" Alex asked, handing John his cup. "She said she would try. The tech seems reliable enough from her end," John responded, his gaze fixed on the digital readouts. The array of lights blinked in a steady rhythm, a silent testament to the unseen signals traversing the void of space. As if on cue, the console beeped loudly, signaling an incoming transmission. John quickly set his coffee down and opened the channel. Mira's message appeared on the screen, her text bringing an immediate smile to both their faces. Mira. "Hello, John, Alex. I'm here as promised. How are you both?" John. "We're great, Mira. Excited to hear from you again. How are things on Sidara tonight?" Mira. "It's peaceful. I've been looking forward to our chat all day. Tell me more about your world." John shared stories of Earth, describing the vast oceans, mountain ranges, and sprawling cities. Alex jumped in with descriptions of music festivals and art galleries, painting a picture of a vibrant cultural tapestry. Mira. Your world sounds so lively, so colorful. We have natural beauty on Sidara, but our cities are built for efficiency and function. Alex. It sounds like you've built a society that values sustainability. Mira. Very much so. Perhaps I can show you some images next time. It would be easier than describing everything. John. We'd love that. Maybe we can share some photos too. It would be like a virtual tour. The conversation shifted towards their daily lives. Mira was fascinated by human hobbies and asked them to explain everything from surfing to snowboarding. Mira. The idea of sliding on water or snow seems so thrilling. Alex. It's a lot of fun. Next time you send a message, maybe include what you do for fun on Sidara? Mira. I will. Actually, we have a game somewhat similar to what you call chess, but it's played with a 3-dimensional board. John. That sounds challenging. Would love to learn it. The dialogue meandered through topics of science, with Mira explaining some of the advanced Siderean technologies. Her descriptions of quantum computing and renewable energy systems were not just conversation, they were an exchange of knowledge. John. Your tech could advance our understanding by decades. Mira. And we can learn from you as well. Your creativity and diversity seem to drive innovation on Earth. As the night progressed, the bond through digital screens grew stronger, the intergalactic distance shrinking with each shared laugh and curious question. Before they knew it, hours had passed. Mira. I must go now, but let's talk again soon. John. Definitely, Mira. Stay safe. Alex. Looking forward to our next chat. As they ended the connection, John and Alex leaned back in their chairs, overwhelmed by the profound experience of sharing their lives with someone from another galaxy. Imagine what this could mean for us, for all of humanity, John mused, his voice a mix of awe and excitement. It's like opening a door we never knew existed, Alex added, his mind racing with the implications of their ongoing dialogue. As they powered down the equipment, their thoughts were on the future, on the next conversation, and on the incredible possibility of a friendship that spanned galaxies. They were pioneers on a new frontier, and the journey was just beginning. A week had passed since John and Alex first contacted Mira. Their nightly conversations had become the highlight of their days, filled with exchanges about culture, science, and the intricacies of daily life on distant planets. Tonight, as they waited for Mira's signal, an unexpected static interference broke the calm. What's that? Alex frowned, peering at the monitors that flickered erratically. Looks like interference, but it's stronger than anything we've seen, John replied, his voice tinged with concern as he adjusted the dials, attempting to stabilize the connection. Suddenly, Mira's message cut through the static, her words appearing disjointed on the screen. Mira. John, Alex, are you there? I'm having trouble with my transmission. John. We're here, Mira. There's some heavy interference on this end, too. Any idea what's causing it? Mira. I think it might be from my side. My government, they monitor communications. They might be on to us. The seriousness of her words hung in the air, heavy and ominous. John exchanged a worried glance with Alex. Alex. What does that mean for you, Mira? Is there anything we can do to help? Mira. I'm not sure yet. Just give me a moment to try and reroute my signal. The screen went silent as they waited anxiously. Minutes ticked by slowly until Mira's messages began to appear again, this time clearer. Mira. I've managed to establish a secure line for now, but we have to be careful. I don't want to bring any trouble to you or to myself. John. Understood. We'll follow your lead. How can we continue without putting you at risk? Mira explained that she would set up a more secure encryption protocol from her end. Her voice, although only represented in text, seemed tense and cautious. Mira. I've implemented a new encryption. It should keep our communication hidden. It's not perfect, but it will have to do for now. Alex. We appreciate you taking this risk, Mira. Maybe we should limit our communications for a while. Mira. No, I don't want to stop. This connection, it's important to me. Let's just be more cautious. The conversation shifted as they discussed lighter topics, trying to ease the palpable tension. Mira shared more about Sidara's landscapes, which she described vividly enough that John and Alex could almost see them. John. Your world sounds beautiful, Mira. It must be incredible to see the sun set on Sidara. Mira. It is. The skies turn a shade of violet you wouldn't believe. I wish I could show you. Despite the beauty of her descriptions, the shadow of surveillance lingered over their conversation, a reminder of the dangers that such a connection posed. As the night drew to a close, they agreed to communicate again the next day, with heightened caution, but also a renewed sense of the importance of their newfound friendship. After disconnecting, John turned to Alex, his expression solemn. "We need to find a better way to protect Mira," he stated, determination in his voice. Alex nodded, equally resolute. "Let's start researching more advanced encryption methods. We're in this together." As they powered down the equipment, the stakes of their interstellar friendship had never been clearer. They were not only bridging worlds, but also navigating the perilous waters of intergalactic politics and surveillance. But the human spirit, driven by connection and curiosity, was not easily deterred. The next few weeks saw John and Alex diving deep into the realms of cryptography, fueled by the need to keep their communications with Mira safe. They upgraded their software, implemented robust encryption protocols, and constantly monitored for any signs of interference or surveillance. Despite the risks, their nightly chats with Mira became richer, touching upon deeper, more personal topics. One evening, as a storm raged outside, casting flickering shadows through the room, John prepared to initiate their secure connection. The familiar beep signaled Mira's presence on the other side of the cosmos. Mira. "Hi, John. Hi, Alex. It's been a rough day here. The authorities are tightening security measures. I'm worried they might find out about us soon." John. "We've been upgrading our security here as well. We won't let anything happen to our connection." Alex. "Is there anything else we can do from our end to make it safer for you?" Mira. "I've been thinking about that. There's one option, but it's risky." Curiosity piqued. John and Alex leaned closer to the screen, the storm's rumble a distant backdrop to the gravity of the moment. John. "What's the option?" Mira. "I could come to Earth. It's unprecedented, but I have access to a scout ship. If I can make it there, we could communicate directly and safely." The suggestion hung in the air, heavy with implications. John exchanged a stunned look with Alex. Alex. "That sounds dangerous, Mira. Are you sure?" Mira. "It's becoming more dangerous to stay and keep this a secret. On Earth, I might have a chance to be free from surveillance." John. "If you decide to do this, we'll make sure you have a safe place here. You won't be alone." Plans began to form, plotted out with careful precision. Mira explained the technology of her ship, the travel time, and what she needed upon arrival. John and Alex busied themselves with preparations, arranging for a secluded landing site and gathering resources. Weeks passed as they set everything in place. Finally, the night arrived. Mira confirmed her departure, her messages tinged with a mix of excitement and apprehension. Mira. "I'm on my way. See you both soon." As John and Alex headed to the remote landing site, the weight of their decision pressed down on them. They had ventured into uncharted territory, far beyond what they had ever imagined. Waiting in the darkness, the silence was profound, punctuated only by the wind whispering through the trees. Time stretched on until a faint whir of engines sounded from above. They looked up, hearts racing, as a small craft pierced the Earth's atmosphere, its hull glowing from the heat of re-entry. The ship touched down gently on the grass, its design sleek and otherworldly. The hatch opened, and Mira stepped out, her figure silhouetted against the interior light. She was shorter than they expected, with iridescent skin that shimmered subtly in the moonlight. John stepped forward, offering his hand. "Welcome to Earth, Mira." Mira took his hand, her smile wide, eyes reflecting a sky full of stars. "Thank you, John. Thank you, Alex. It feels surreal to finally be here." The trio headed back to their vehicle, the air filled with an electric sense of possibility. Despite the dangers they faced, the connection that brought them together now felt stronger than ever. As they drove off into the night, their journey together was just beginning. Mira's arrival on Earth marked the beginning of a new chapter in her life, one filled with curiosity and challenges. Her first few days were a whirlwind of adaptation and marvel. John and Alex had arranged for her to stay in a secluded cabin in the woods, away from prying eyes and too many questions. The tranquility of the natural surroundings provided a peaceful backdrop as Mira acclimated to her new environment. "Everything is so different here. The air, the colors, the sounds," Mira observed one morning as they sat on the porch, watching the sunrise tint the sky with hues of orange and pink. "It's a lot to take in, but you're handling it incredibly well," John replied, handing her a mug of hot coffee. Mira sniffed the beverage cautiously, her sensitive senses adjusting to the myriad of new stimuli. "On Sidara, Our morning beverage is more pungent. Alex chuckled. Well, hopefully some Earth customs will grow on you. As days passed, John and Alex introduced Mira to various aspects of human culture. They showed her movies, which fascinated her with their vivid storytelling. They also introduced her to different cuisines, each dish sparking new conversations about Earth and Sidaran foods. One afternoon, while walking through a nearby forest, Alex decided to teach Mira about Earth's wildlife. They pointed out squirrels darting up trees and birds fluttering from branch to branch. Mira was captivated, her eyes wide with wonder. "These small creatures, they're so lively. We have nothing like this back home," Mira said, her gaze following a particularly bold chipmunk. "It's one of the things we take for granted here," John said, smiling at her enthusiasm. However, the outside world eventually began to intrude on their secluded sanctuary. News of a mysterious object landing in the forest had leaked, and though John and Alex did their best to quash the rumors, the story attracted the attention of local authorities and curious onlookers. "We need to be more cautious," Alex warned one evening after spotting a drone buzzing over the tree line. "I can help with that," Mira said, her confidence growing alongside her comfort with her new friends. She retrieved a small device from her ship, which she explained could create a mild cloaking field around the cabin. "Technology like this could change everything for us," John mused, impressed by the device's capabilities. Mira nodded. "I'm willing to share what I know, but we must be careful. The implications are vast, and not everyone may have our best intentions at heart." Their days developed a new rhythm, blending earthly routines with Sidaran technology. Mira's presence on Earth remained a secret, but the trio knew it was only a matter of time before they would need to confront the larger implications of her visit. One evening, as they sat around the fire pit, staring up at the starlit sky, Mira's expression turned thoughtful. "I never imagined I'd find a home away from Sidara, but being here with you, sharing our worlds, it's given me hope." John smiled, his gaze meeting hers. "You've shown us that the universe is smaller than we thought, Mira. No matter what comes next, we'll face it together." Their conversation lingered into the night, a mix of shared dreams and the realization that the bridge they had built between their worlds was both fragile and enduring. As the fire dwindled to embers, the challenges ahead seemed daunting, yet the bond they had formed under the stars felt strong enough to overcome any obstacle. The news of Mira's presence on Earth began to ripple through shadowy corners of the universe, eventually reaching the ears of a relentless Sidaran bounty hunter named Kale. Known for his effectiveness and lack of empathy, Kale was dispatched to retrieve Mira, viewing the mission as another routine retrieval, until he discovered the target was on Earth, a planet famed for its uncharted and wild nature. John, Alex, and Mira were unaware of the impending threat as they continued to delve deeper into each other's cultures and technologies. Mira, growing increasingly comfortable and fond of her earthly surroundings, began to share more about her own capabilities, including advanced Sidaran defensive tactics. One late afternoon, as they tinkered with a device Mira had brought from her ship, an alert popped up on John's makeshift surveillance system. "Guys, we've got something. Looks like an unknown craft entering Earth's atmosphere," John announced, his voice tense. Alex rushed over, staring at the monitor displaying thermal and radar signatures. "That's no satellite or space junk," he said grimly. Mira's expression hardened as she viewed the data. "It's Kale. He's a bounty hunter, one of Sidara's best. If he's here, it's for me." John's jaw set firm. "We won't let him take you. What can we do?" Mira outlined a plan. They would use a combination of Earth's terrain and her technological assets to evade capture. Kale was skilled, but unfamiliar with Earth's geography and its unpredictable nature. They quickly gathered supplies and set out in John's rugged 4x4, heading deeper into the forested mountains, a place where satellite coverage was spotty, and the dense foliage could help mask their heat signatures. As night fell, they set up camp in a concealed ravine. Mira activated a device that scattered their thermal signature, making it difficult for any technology to pinpoint their location. Kale, meanwhile, tracked Mira to the general vicinity but found himself hindered by the unfamiliar and unforgiving Earth environment. His advanced tools were of little use against the natural cloaking properties of the dense forests. For days, the cat-and-mouse game continued, with John, Alex, and Mira barely staying one step ahead of Kale. They utilized everything from makeshift traps to hacking local satellite feeds to misdirect Kale. One evening, as they huddled around a small fire disguised by a smokeless burner Mira had modified, Alex spoke up. He's persistent, but he doesn't know Earth like we do. Mira nodded, pulling up a map on a ruggedized tablet. There's an old mining network here not far. We could use it to lose him for good. The next day, they led Kale directly into the trap. Using the mining tunnels as a labyrinth, they created a series of false trails. Kale, determined but increasingly frustrated, followed what he believed was the trail left by Mira. As he navigated one particularly complex tunnel system, John triggered a collapse of the old, unstable shafts using a controlled explosion they had prepared earlier. The collapse didn't hurt Kale, but effectively cut him off, leaving him trapped and disoriented. Exhausted but relieved, the trio made their escape, finally putting significant distance between themselves and the hunter. As they emerged from the darkness of the mines, the first light of dawn was breaking over the horizon. "We've done it," Mira breathed, a mix of exhaustion and victory in her voice. John placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "Let's get you somewhere safe, somewhere he won't find you." They headed back towards their base, aware that the victory was temporary, but it was enough. For now, they had won, and Mira was safe, a testament to human ingenuity and the strength of their newfound alliance. After evading Kale through the maze of tunnels, John, Alex, and Mira knew they needed a more permanent solution. They couldn't keep running indefinitely. Mira's presence on Earth had escalated into a situation that was drawing too much attention, and it was only a matter of time before Kale or others would come searching again. The trio spent days huddled in a safe house, planning their next move. Mira's knowledge of Sidaran technology combined with John's engineering prowess and Alex's strategic thinking formed a potent force. Together, they conceived a bold plan to confront Kale directly, hoping to negotiate a truce or disable his ability to track Mira permanently. "Are you sure about this?" Alex asked Mira as they reviewed the final details of their plan. "Facing him directly could be dangerous." Mira nodded, her eyes determined. "It's the only way to end this. We disable his ship's tracking equipment, and I can live freely, here or anywhere else." John chimed in. "We've got the home advantage. We know the terrain, and with the tech you've brought, I think we can pull this off." They decided to lure Kale into a remote desert area known for its minimal satellite coverage, where John had previously used to test his homemade drones. The vast open space provided no cover for Kale, turning his unfamiliarity with Earth to their advantage. The day of the showdown, they set their trap. Mira sent a signal from her device designed to mimic her presence, drawing Kale directly to their location. Meanwhile, John and Alex set up an array of improvised devices around the perimeter to create a disruptive electromagnetic field. As Kale's ship descended, the dust swirling around it, he stepped out, confident and alert. He scanned the horizon, his advanced weaponry ready. Mira stepped forward, her voice amplified to carry across the wind. "Kale, I am here by my choice. I will not go back with you," she called out. Kale, spotting Mira, started towards her, only to stumble as the electromagnetic devices kicked in, his weapons systems glitching under the sudden assault of interference. "Now, John!" Alex shouted. John activated a drone, which darted forward, dropping a net enhanced with Sidaran technology over Kale, pinning him to the ground. The bounty hunter struggled, but the net's adaptive fibers tightened, rendering him immobile. Mira approached cautiously, keeping a safe distance. "Kale, I don't want to hurt you. I only want my freedom. Disable your tracking, and I'll let you return home." Kale, realizing his position and the failure of his mission, reluctantly agreed. "I will disable it, but this isn't over. Others may come." "We'll be ready," John assured him, watching closely as Kale disabled his tracking device. Once the task was completed, they released Kale, watching as his ship lifted off, disappearing into the sky. The group sighed in relief, the immediate threat gone, but aware of the possible future challenges. "We did it," Alex said, clapping John on the back. "Yes, but we need to stay vigilant, and perhaps it's time we think about making your presence here more official," John suggested to Mira, considering the broader implications of her stay on Earth. Mira nodded. "I think I'm ready to face whatever comes. With friends like you, I feel like I can do anything." As they packed up their equipment, the desert quiet around them, there was a sense of closure. Yet the door to future possibilities was now wide open. Their journey together had solidified into a strong bond, one that would face whatever the future held together. In the weeks following their confrontation with Kale, John, Alex, and Mira worked tirelessly to stabilize Mira's situation on Earth. They reached out to their networks and, with the help of a sympathetic contact within the government, arranged a confidential meeting to discuss Mira's asylum. As they drove to the high-security government facility, the weight of the moment settled over the trio. The building was stark and imposing, a sharp contrast to the freedom of their recent outdoor escapades. "I never imagined I'd end up here," Mira murmured, gazing out the window at the passing landscape. "We'll make sure they understand. You deserve to be here as much as any of us," John reassured her, his voice firm with conviction. Inside, they were ushered into a conference room where several officials awaited, their expressions unreadable. The meeting began with formal introductions, and Mira took the lead, explaining her journey and her reasons for choosing Earth as her refuge. "I come in peace, with knowledge to share and a desire to be part of this world," Mira stated, her voice steady despite the gravity of her plea. John and Alex supported her statement, detailing the technical contributions Mira had already made and emphasizing the mutual benefits of her staying on Earth. They spoke of the friendship and the bridges they had built, the shared dangers they had overcome, and the potential for future collaboration between worlds. One of the officials, a woman with a sharp gaze, leaned forward. "What you're asking is unprecedented. The implications of granting an extraterrestrial being asylum on Earth are vast and complex." "But not impossible," Alex chimed in. "Mira's presence here has been peaceful, and her contributions are already proving invaluable. This could be the beginning of a new era of interstellar relations." The discussion deepened, touching on security protocols, Mira's rights and responsibilities, and the potential for future contacts with Sidara. Mira answered all their questions with a calm and clear-headedness that impressed everyone in the room. After a lengthy debate, the officials called a recess to deliberate privately. The wait was agonizing, filled with tense silence and hopeful glances. Finally, the officials returned, their faces now more open, a decision reached. "We have agreed to grant you provisional asylum, with certain conditions regarding your interactions and the sharing of technology," the lead official announced. Mira's relief was palpable, and she nodded eagerly. "Thank you. I am more than willing to comply with all conditions. I just want a chance to live freely among those I now consider my friends." As they left the building, the late afternoon sun cast long shadows across the grounds. They felt lighter, almost buoyant with the outcome. John placed a hand on Mira's shoulder, smiling. "You're officially earthbound now." Mira looked back at the facility, her future now secured, a hopeful gaze set on the horizon. "Let's go home," she said, the word resonant with new meaning. Driving back, the car filled with plans for the future, laughter, and the warmth of companionship. They discussed public announcements, potential scientific collaborations, and even mundane details about adding Mira's name to the house lease. Their journey had been fraught with uncertainty and danger, but as they watched the sun set on their way home, the colors of the sky blending into a perfect gradient, it felt like a new dawn was on the horizon, a dawn of a new life, new possibilities, and a new world, united under the vast canopy of stars.